Imagine for a moment that you are at the heart of the Roman Empire, surrounded by thousands of people. The roar of the crowd echoes in your ears as excitement builds. In front of you stretches a gigantic arena, the Circus Maximus, the largest of them all, where chariots race at full speed, gladiators fight for their lives, and exotic animals are brought from distant corners of the empire. But we are not just talking about a spectacle, we are about to travel through time. Do you dare to see all of this as if you were there? And the best part, we will see it in 3D, recreating the full experience of what a Roman circus was. Stay with us, because in the end, you'll witness a visual experience that will take you straight to the heart of the action. You can't miss it. Before we continue, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more historical trips like this. Roman circuses were much more than mere entertainment venues, they were true centers of power and social control. In the vast Roman Empire, where tensions between social classes and regions were constant, the circuses were used as a tool to maintain peace and order. The Circus Maximus, the largest and most emblematic of all, could hold up to 250,000 people, making it one of the largest complexes of its time. But it wasn't just a place to watch horse races or fights, the circus was an extension of Rome's power, a visual and tangible manifestation of its greatness. Over the centuries, Roman emperors understood that entertainment was much more than a distraction, it was a form of control. Panem circenses, or bread and circuses, became a formula to keep the population happy and distracted, ensuring that while people enjoyed these grand spectacles, they wouldn't worry about the social or political problems of the empire. These events, organized by the emperors, were a way of giving the masses something to live for while keeping them away from any potential rebellion. But Roman circuses didn't just represent imperial power physically. Each race, each gladiatorial fight, was a reminder of Roman domination over the known world. The controlled violence of these spectacles also served to glorify Rome's power, showing its ability to subjugate men and beasts. In this context, the circus was not only a place of leisure but also a propaganda tool and a reflection of the hierarchical order that characterized Roman society. The Circus Maximus was not just an entertainment wonder, but also a true engineering masterpiece reflecting the grandeur of the Roman Empire. Nearly 600 meters long, it could hold up to 250,000 spectators, making it one of the largest and most impressive spaces of the ancient world. But its design was not only intended to be functional but also symbolic. Every aspect of the circus was meant to project the power, order, and perfection of Rome. In the center of the track stood the spina, a structure that not only divided the track but also served as the axis around which the spectacle revolved. Decorated with obelisks, statues, and fountains, the spina had tremendous symbolic power. The obelisks brought from Egypt, for example, not only beautified the space but represented Rome's relationship with other great civilizations and its domination over them. When looking at the spina, the crowd not only saw art but also a clear message: Rome was the center of the world, invincible and eternal. The tiers of the circus, rising in concentric layers, reflected Roman social order. Aristocrats and senators sat near the track, in a privileged area, while plebeians, the lower classes, sat in the higher sections. This division in the circus was not just functional, it was a visual manifestation of Rome's social hierarchy, a reminder that although everyone could enjoy the show, only a few were closer to power. The oval shape of the track also had a purpose beyond aesthetics. It was designed to maximize the excitement of the spectator. Each chariot race, each turn of the horses, felt even more intense due to the shape of the track, which allowed the audience to see the action from all angles. The sharp turns increased the tension, making them more dramatic and dangerous for the drivers, which boosted the adrenaline of the audience. Each turn, each moment of uncertainty, reflected the dynamics of the Roman Empire itself, always in motion, always under pressure, but with an unbreakable order. Furthermore, the architecture of the circus was a reflection of Roman grandeur in terms of engineering. The Romans were pioneers in building large-scale structures, using materials like concrete and marble to create buildings that not only stood the test of time but also impressed all those who saw them. The circus, then, was not just a place for entertainment but a declaration of power, Roman architecture was not only functional but also a means of impressing others, making it clear that Rome could build for eternity. When we think of Roman circuses, the first thing that comes to mind are the chariots, those four-horse carts racing at full speed, navigating the dangerous curves of the circus. Chariot races were not only a spectacle of speed but also of skill, bravery, and, in many cases, pure luck. The charioteers, the drivers of these carts, did not only compete for victory but for fame and, at times, for their lives. The excitement in the circus was palpable in every turn of the horses. Falls were common and spectacular, and an accident could be as impactful as a victory. The best charioteers became true celebrities, cheered by the people as heroes, with followers who adored them. Betting was always present, and the roar of the crowd could change the fate of a driver, demanding his victory or, at times, his downfall. But the circus was not just the realm of chariots and races. In the same space, gladiators fought for their lives. These trained fighters, trained in the Ludi, gladiator schools, faced off in epic battles that kept the audience on the edge of their seats. The gladiators not only fought each other but also fought wild animals brought from the farthest regions of the empire, such as lions, tigers, and bears. These combats were more than simple fights. Each battle was a spectacle full of symbolism. The gladiators represented the struggle for survival, resistance against death, and sacrifice for the glory of Rome. The crowd, from the stands, played a crucial role in these battles, as their clamor decided the fate of the combatant. If they called for his death, the gladiator could be executed mercilessly. If they called for his life, the emperor decided whether to grant him a second chance. In addition to gladiatorial combats, the circuses were also the stage for battles between wild animals. These animals, brought from Africa, Asia, and other parts of the empire, not only fought each other but sometimes faced gladiators in an uneven fight. The circus, being the place where Rome was displayed in its greatest form, also served to demonstrate its dominion over nature and its ability to subdue even the most fearsome creatures in the world. Each event in the circus was a representation of the power and civilization of Rome, a showcase of its ability to control even life and death, and a reminder of the brutality that the empire imposed both on its enemies and its own citizens. The gladiators were not just fighters, but almost mythical figures in ancient Rome. They were trained in special schools called Ludi, where they were taught to fight with a wide variety of weapons, from swords to nets and tridents. For the Romans, the gladiator represented much more than just a fight for victory. He was a symbol of bravery, sacrifice, and survival. These fighters, many of whom were slaves or prisoners of war, faced off in battles that could be as epic as they were mortal. But, in essence, what was at stake in the circus was not just combat skill, but life itself. The fate of each gladiator was in the hands of the crowd. As the battle went on, the spectators influenced the fighter's fate with their shouts and gestures. If they called for his death, the emperor, or the lanista, owner of the gladiators, decided whether to grant mercy or end his life. But why was death so central to these combats? For the Romans, death in the circus was not seen as something morbid but as part of a ritual. It was a way of reminding that life was fragile and that the Roman Empire, in its magnificence, had control over life and death. The fight in the arena symbolized Rome's power over everything, over its enemies, over its own citizens, and over nature itself. Through the death of the gladiator, the Romans reaffirmed their own superiority. The circus was not just a spectacle, it was a reminder of the grandeur of the empire, where life and death were played with the same ease. The gladiators, despite being treated as objects in many cases, could achieve fame and immortality if they showed bravery and skill in the arena. Some managed to emerge victorious and earn their freedom, but for others, death was their only fate. What happened in the Roman circus was not just for entertainment. Every battle, every death, was a spectacle full of symbolism, a way to reaffirm Rome's control and power over all aspects of human existence. Roman circuses were not only known for their violence and excitement but also for the technological innovations used to amplify the viewer's experience. Rome, as an empire, was famous for its engineering skills, and the circus was no exception. The Romans devised a series of machines and mechanical devices to make these spectacles even more impressive. For example, lifting machines were used to bring gladiators, animals, and other elements of the show into the arena quickly and surprisingly. These machines allowed exotic beasts, like lions and tigers, to appear suddenly in front of the crowd, intensifying the awe and fear of the spectators. Additionally, moving platforms and mechanical stairs helped fighters and animals move more efficiently and spectacularly through the circus. But technology was not limited to machinery. The Romans also used sound and visual effects to create dramatic atmospheres. Trumpets and drums announced the beginning of the battles, while the sound of the crowd and the roars of the animals increased the intensity of each moment. The use of water and fountains also played a key role in creating visual effects that delighted the audience. And let's not forget the architecture of the circus itself, which was designed to amplify the emotion. The oval shape of the track, combined with the layered stands, ensured that every spectator, no matter where they sat, had a perfect view of the action. This design not only optimized the visual experience but also helped generate a sense of total immersion. Each chariot race, each gladiator fight, was intensely experienced, as the circus's structure was designed to heighten the tension and excitement of the crowd. Rome knew how to make every event unforgettable, and the circus was the best proof of this. It was not just a physical fight in the arena, but also a complete sensory spectacle, where technology and entertainment merged to create a unique experience that would leave a mark in history. As the Roman Empire fragmented and political and economic crises began to overwhelm Rome, the circuses and their spectacles started to lose their relevance. From the 4th century AD, Christianity began to gain strength in Rome, and with it came opposition to the bloody combats and the exploitation of humans and animals. The Christian Church openly condemned gladiatorial games, seeing them as barbaric and incompatible with Christian values. With the fall of the Roman Empire in the 5th century, the circus, as the Romans knew it, also came to an end. Gladiators were largely eliminated as entertainment, and the spectacles in the circus were significantly reduced. However, the cultural legacy of these events did not disappear. The Roman circus left an indelible mark on the history of entertainment, and many of the traditions of Roman spectacles transformed and evolved over time. Modern circuses, for example, owe much to those early Roman circuses. Although the focus has changed, the idea of creating a visually stunning show, full of emotion and adrenaline, persists to this day. Furthermore, the idea of competition and survival that characterized gladiator combats and chariot races is present in many forms of contemporary entertainment, from sports to action movies. Thus, the Roman circus, though disappeared, remains alive in the collective imagination, in popular culture, and in the entertainment structures we enjoy today. Its legacy, marked by grandeur, violence, and spectacle, continues to influence the way we understand and experience entertainment. Now that you know the history behind the Roman circus, it's time to take this experience to a whole new level. Imagine you could travel through time and be there, in the heart of the Circus Maximus, surrounded by thousands of people. Feel the excitement in the air as the chariots race at full speed, with the horses pushing their limits. Dust rises beneath their hooves, and the roar of the crowd fills your ears. Thanks to technology, we can recreate this spectacle in 3D, allowing you to immerse yourself in the action like never before. Now you can see the circus as it was at its peak. The racetrack stretches before you, the gladiators fight fiercely in the arena, and exotic animals make their appearance at the center of the circus, surrounded by the tension and anticipation of the crowd. Watch as the charioteers take dangerous turns, the gladiators defy death in bloody combat, and the crowd surrounds you, roaring with every victory and every fall. Everything is recreated so that you can feel like part of this grand event, living each moment just as the Romans did centuries ago. This is not just a video, it's a journey through time. With our 3D digital reconstruction, you can experience the Circus Maximus as if you were there, seeing, hearing, and feeling the excitement of a spectacle that defined an era. The Roman circus was much more than just a spectacle, it was a reflection of Rome's power, violence, and magnificence, an experience that transcended time and continues to inspire our understanding of entertainment today. The thrill of the races, the adrenaline of the battles, and the impact of death in the arena have left a deep mark on history. Now that we've traveled back in time and relived these moments in 3D, what do you think about the influence of these spectacles on our modern culture? How do you think the Roman values of power, control, and spectacle still resonate in our society today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more historical journeys like this, and share this video with your friends so they can also discover this fascinating chapter of history. Don't forget to activate notifications so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you for joining us on this trip to the past. See you next time.